think we are live. We are live. It's official. We are there. We are talking about discussing behaviors today with Mandalore. How are you, Mandalore?
Exhausted.
Feel you, man. I feel
Stayed
you.
up late taking care of my sick wife last night, so I'm a bit drained.
Feel you. You know what? Like sometime I am on the internet, like many of us, and I
Really?
regret having internet. And this is one of these days where I found something troubling, disgusting.
Well, unfortunately, I've known about this is even before, and like they've done TV shows about this. It's disgusting, and this has been before internet, unfortunately.
And we will talk about that very soon. We will react to something very soon. And I gotta say, I am a concerned individual because I got two sisters. And I'm lucky because I got a good mom. I don't know about the other side of the tree, but I got a good mom. So lucky us. I don't think this will impact my sister.
Well, in all honesty, they're not as big as they used to be. Like in the early 90s and 80s and 70s, they used to be a much bigger thing. They seem Honey Boo Boo seemed to be the end of it because people started going, yikes.
Yeah. So it's as a concerned individual that has two sisters. And I'm glad I got the mom I got. So let's react to the main topic being beauty cosmetics BS given to kids and other underage. There we go. There we go.
Oh.
Okay, what is this about? You're 12, not 21. I have my own anecdotal experience.
You had to pick an e-thought, one of those.
Hey, I don't know the original source, okay?
No, but yeah, I was going to say, if you're 12, not 21, that's the original source of that video.
I'm lazy.
Oh, this is going to be double torturesome to me. Why did you do this to me? Oh, you just want me to rage, don't you?
I look at that. 7 years old. Putting on some makeup.
Oh. And the
Look,
thing now,
I don't know. I never had a daughter, and I lived a very weird life. So maybe that's normal for kids that age. But like, as an outsider, I don't think it's normal.
Well, you lived in French Canada. Of course, you had a weird life.
But I don't think it's normal. 7 years old like that, and that much makeup.
But here's the thing: if you look at the 13-year-old, that's clearly an older photo from the 90s or early 2000s. Do a modern 13-year-old, and they look dressed more like the 19-year-old from modern times. They look a lot more slutty.
Yeah.
And I don't like using that term with minors because you shouldn't be seeing them as that, but that's how they act, and that's what they're told to dress like, which is disgusting. It's a whole societal thing, which is a whole bigger topic.
And the parents, man, the parents. Aren't they around?
They are around, and some of this, especially for the pageant lifestyle, you've heard of the term Transhausens by proxy, right? It's a play on Munchausen's.
Yeah.
This was the original Transhausens by proxy. Instead of dressing them up as the opposite sex and making them dress and perform in adult clubs, they just dressed them up as little a miniature version of older women with a pound of makeup put on their face and dressed up so the parents could live through their child. It's especially mothers who wanted fame and never got, so they try and push their child through it to get attention and money and stuff.
A lot of TV shows did that.
Well, yeah, they early, like, I can't remember when my
Jessica Jones did that with Trish. Another TV show, I think the boys did that at some point as well.
Well, the Discovery Channel had shows just focused on child beauty pageants, and they still have shows going on. They're not as popular as they used to be.
That's a good thing. They shouldn't be popular. I don't know what. Okay, I actually know, and I regret saying that, but it's disgusting.
I know they were really big, and then Honey Boo Boo was a production of All That, was the one who became out because it was just so obvious that it was just a mother pushing her kid, and it was just so what the fuck is going on, and not in a good way, that people started going, is this how we all look? It's like, minus the living in a trailer redneck bullshit. Yes, you all look that crazy and stupid. And a lot of people went, I'm not doing that anymore. It's not worth it. That makes me look bad. But there still are parents who still go, oh, we're better than them.
It's both disgusting and troubling. I gotta start by saying that. Like, these age, they shouldn't be worried about, like, dating at all. They should be at school chilling.
It's not even about dating. It's just about attention and perverting the youth.
Yeah, I guess now we can play. We covered that weird moment enough, I think.
Seeing this firsthand in person is pretty disturbing. All right, 3, 2, 1, boom.
Maybe you have no friend. Pink eyeshadow. Pink lipstick. Ready with me, Mom.
Tell me how. I went to Sephora yesterday and there was like a whole bunch of like little 10, 12-year-old girls.
This was Billie Eilish when she was 19. This was Kylie Jenner when she was 14. This
14?
was Paris Hilton when she was 13.
She's
this
crackers.
is a new generation.
This is disturbing, man.
The internet is the cause of this because everyone wants to get their 50 minutes of fame, and it's just they see all they look up to now is just whores and sluts and horrible people, and you see people getting attention for being that, especially with like OnlyFans. And it's not just they're seeing OnlyFans girls being OnlyFans girls, it's they're seeing the OnlyFans girls when they do their shady marketing where they just have regular TikToks and YouTubes and stuff where they post normal content, but they dress up still. And they're watching these and getting ideas from them, and it's disgusting as fuck.
And I gotta add this. Look at the source on the right. TikTok.
Well, TikTok is horrendous, but everything has to be sexualized now. Like, even look at the girl on the right. Like, she has to use a avatar like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find the original video.
She's an adult, most likely.
Okay.
And she hides a kid, so that's perfect. She has a perfect placement there. But I gotta say, it's not for no reason that TikTok is banned in elementary school, at least here in Quebec. I don't know about high school, but like when you got a website banned, try to find out why. It's disgusting. I gotta say, I feel like TikTok is a hellscape of trash content. And I understand why the USA would like to ban this shit.
I found the original video. Let's watch that version instead, rather than responding to a responder.
Okay, you found the right one. Okay. We will, oh yeah, you sent the link there. Oh, and it's shorter. Amazing.
Well, yeah, because you don't have her the other commenter trying to.
You're amazing. Let me just pull that and 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 there we go. Okay. I think that's the right thing.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's the right thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I recognize it by the timestamps. Okay. Um, and I still think it's very fitting our title because it's still disgusting and all.
Oh, the fact that parents allow this. Like, I got my first webcam and sort of a digital camera, or even it was my first camera when I was 17, 18, or 16, 17. It was they were birthday presents because my parents didn't they didn't want you going online doing this sort of thing. And that was used to be like the concern when you first had kids online, the stuff was, and the technology was available and more affordable, was you don't want your kids going around doing cam shows, showing things or whatnot. And now it's just, they let their kids, they intentionally film their kids and put them on video online for people to watch, and then they let the kids do their own.
Or they just give them a tablet or some shit and they let them do whatever.
At least when parents did that 80s, 90s and earlier with TVs, it was the worst they can do is just rot their brain. But it didn't corrupt them. Now they're corrupting them with just leaving stuff because they have access to everything. It wasn't just what was on cable. And back when I was a kid, we didn't have cable. It was all it was all antenna TV still. And turn knobs.
So I guess now we can play you're 12, not 21. The exact
original.
Pink eyeshadow, pink lipstick. Get ready with me, Mom.
Tell me how I went.
It's so weird. It's weird that wait. 10 years old on the right?
No, she's saying that she saw 10-year-olds.
Oh, okay.
If you listen out, she says she went to Sephora and saw a bunch of 10-year-olds. Also full screen.
That's so weird. They shouldn't be there. I mean, they should be at Toys R Us or something. Playing with Barbies, I don't know.
But don't forget the full screen.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
What would you do without me?
Yeah, I would be lost. But that's not normal, the behavior on the right. And
the left. The two on the left.
She looks like not even 10 years old. What?
Well, and the mothers are right there supporting this. And the one in the middle, I don't know how old she is, but she's way too young to be acting and talking like that. Like, it's just disgusting. Like,
and what she's wearing. The parents are terrible, I swear. Okay, I guess that's enough torture for now.
Yesterday, and there was like a whole bunch of like
oh my.
Yeah.
How old is she? 4 years old? 5 years
I'm not
old?
going to make any comments, but that is also.
This was Billie Eilish when she was 19. This was Kylie Jenner when she was 14. This was Paris Hilton when she was 13. And now this is a new generation of 12-year-olds making thirst trap TikToks and 10-year-olds dominating Sephora. Here's to the
oh my
death of girlhood.
I feel like there's no right place to pause. Actually, here that's the perfect place because at least
I feel like even though we're watching someone else's video talking about this, anyone who watches these videos should be on a list because I feel disgusted. I want to hurt myself for even looking at this video now. And the fact that I had to look this up and share it to you so we didn't have the video through the video. It's just disgusting. Like, just seeing like the screen we just walked away from. You don't need to roll back. But just seeing those girls do like the ones doing the sexy dancing it's just ridiculous. And it's just it hurts me. It physically hurts me just trying not to just do evil things to their parents for allowing this shit.
It should be considered as child abuse.
It should be. This is why I always have said for a while, like, I don't like government control, but there should be. You almost need a license to be allowed on the internet, and you need to be of a certain age to be on the internet without a parent, because this is ridiculous. Like, I was talking to someone about similar things like this not long ago, and when I grew up, there was things like Net Nanny and all these things to block websites or images that were inappropriate, and they'd shut down the web page and whatnot, or block them and whatnot. But no one even thinks about doing that anymore. Now it's just, just let kids be kids. But this is not letting kids be kids. This is forcing kids to be, or making them think that they can be adults when they haven't made any decisions yet. This is absolutely revolting.
And the other thing,
I'm trying to be more sad, because if I get angry, I might get your channel taken down. I'm trying to, like, this is disgusting, and there's hate building up in me so bad.
I feel you, and the worst than that, like, some kids and teenagers, they use filler, and that kind of shit, it's the kind of shit 30 and 40 years old used to look younger.
Well,
so why would they need filler. This shit?
It's not even filler. It's also like they've also got these makeups that do plumping, and they've got all these devices that you keep seeing idiots do online, where you suck into something like kids would sometimes do as a joke and then make their lips plump. Like, they've got all these things that people will buy for their kids or allow their kids to buy. Like, I'm sorry, makeup should have a minimum age.
Yeah, I agree. And the worst than that, I've also heard stuff that makes sense. I feel like eventually we will have a rise of skin cancer and other bullshit like that because of that behavior. It's too young to just put something on your skin, and let's be honest, I think that blocks the breathing of the skin. And
what's funny is a very popular meme online is showing like shows back from the 70s and 80s that had actors that were your age, but they looked a lot older. Like, people age more, or they looked older back in the day.
Yeah,
looking younger, but at the same time, they're doing more damage to themselves by clogging up their pores, by clogging up their skin, by tanning, by all this other bullshit. They're aging themselves horrendously, and they're probably doing more damage to their bodies. And yes, I know some of these makeups and products are skincare and have stuff in them to help, but it's all just so fucking bad. And if it's not hurting your skin, it's hurting your fucking soul. And I'm not even a religious person, but it is just heartbreaking.
I'm with you. And sadly, we will have a rise of skin cancer and that kind of bullshit. Take care of yourself.
I thought you were going to say something like skanks or something. It's like, we already have that.
Let's see what happens next. Hopefully, we don't have too many underage showing there.
Do you have Frank Elephant? I want to make a smoothie.
Whenever I'm at school, I'm like playing at recess, where I'm literally just sitting in the classroom. Oh, plenty of
She can't even speak!
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
She can't even speak! And she's there in front of a damn camera!
Move the video forward. I don't even want to see this part. It's just...
I'm curious.
Oops.
Then and now. We miss Dan, right? The then is normal. The now is not. I don't know if I should be laughing, but like, I think that's a coping mechanism for me. Like, I'm laughing because I'm sad and I don't want to show it, but I said it, so I just undermine.
Just revolting.
But then is normal. Now is not. Nuke TikTok. I swear. Nuke TikTok.
TikTok is part of the problem. There's also a deeper theory I have about this. Just kind of like, and not because it's also relevant, but in relation to it, but the Epstein logs, like they've been delaying them. And if you've noticed, ever since Epstein files got really big in Epstein, like even before he was like the final arrest, like there's been people talking about it, and they always want to know who the hell was involved, and they keep fighting it. And what I've always thought was, before the names are released, they've been trying to make pedophilia or PDF file enjoyers more normalized, and they're trying to make it more common. And I think allowing kids to do this is a big part of it, that the people who are controlling this isn't just to make money from a younger generation, and not just for older women to buy makeup and stuff, but I think it's more of just they're trying to sex up the kids,
normalize the disgusting
attraction to young kids, because why else would you make clothing to look like that? Like, I understand kids always want to look like adults and act like adults, but parents always had a line like, you don't say certain things until you're old enough to understand. You don't dress till you understand how you're like, what messages you're sending out there. And no, I'm not saying it's deserved depend on how you dress. And I've never been you deserve it. What I'm saying is, you dress a certain way and you walk into a certain neighborhood where there's more bad people. They don't care that you're dressing like that for yourself. They see you as easier target. It's not that you're asking for it. It's just you're putting yourself in a situation. Yes, it'd be great if you could dress up however you wanted or as barely as you wanted and not worry about being judged or insulted. But we don't live in that society. We do not live in a utopia. We live in a horrible, horrible place.
And I will also add this. These are kids. Most of the time, they don't even know what the F they are doing.
Well, like, even tweens, it's a little bit more sort of like wrong, but it's just, okay, they're growing up into teens and teens like to rebel. But as we just saw that one kid who might still be in diapers or just out of diapers for a year or two, who doesn't know what they're doing. Like, this is disgusting. Like, it's one thing to let them play around, like kids play in makeup, and it's a thing kids have always done. But you don't film it and put it on for people who are attracted to that to look at. You're just baiting the PDF files.
Yeah. And the most disgusting part is we used to do that. We used to take picture, right, and to record stuff. Like, I know there's maybe weird recording of me as a kid because my parents were like, oh, that's the first time he does that stupid shit. But it wasn't on the internet.
No, exactly.
And now it is for some reason.
Back in the day, you would sometimes take pictures of your kids in the bath together. You showed it to family. It was in a photo book, but you didn't post it online. Now people are posting those pictures online, and it's just, you're literally feeding the habit.
All for fame, and it's disgusting.
And they want the attention, and they want to go, oh, my kid is the cutest, look at my kid. But the problem is, you don't know who's looking at it. And some people don't care that their kids are being viewed as that way, as long as they get the clicks and the views and the money and the attention. They're literally prostituting their kids for themselves.
Yeah.
Sephora is the new players, and preteen girls can't wait to sexually liberate themselves. The world is not ready for the next generation of beauty gurus, where mean girl behaviors are normalized.
She points and laughs, and she's like, "You're so wrinkly, you're so wrinkly."
We needed this. And then I sneak up from behind her and take the sunscreen.
She is 10 years old, and she is that mean. She will be an awful adult.
Like, it's the parents who are raising them into
a very weird moment there.
Anti-aging skincare begins when you still have a bedtime.
There's some things that I do to slow down the aging process.
See, fuck, man.
Slow down the aging process at 14. Jesus fucking Christ. They're putting more work into their looks than school, education, or growing. They're trying to hold on to that youth. And every generation, it's getting worse and worse. Pretty soon, they're going to have pills to put makeup on your fetus.
That's disgusting, but like
This is,
you're right.
No, but where else are they going with this? This is fucking disgusting. And I hate talking about kids this way. Like I've never really liked kids. Like even when I was in high school, I found them annoying. I found teenagers annoying, and I hated them. I was the kid who walked around looking miserable with headphones on my. Nowadays, I'd be questioned and kept an eye on for being one of those school blammers. But no, I never was. I just hated everyone and everything. I was cynical. I still am. But
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You didn't say.
There's more humor about it than I used to be. I'm old. I'm almost 40 now. I'm allowed to be cynical. I've earned it by this point. But it's just, how else do you describe these underage kids who are looking like prostitutes and acting like these horrendous people?
That's tragic. That's the start of the downfall.
And you add everything with modern society, like your truth, feeling is more important than fact, all of this bullshit, and they're just like, you can't tell them otherwise, because otherwise it's abuse and neglect. And
you
like,
know that you know
I'm afraid to have kids.
I was thinking about that. As of today in 2025, it takes 9 months to create a baby. What if I don't know, in a dystopian future in like 20 or 30 years, what if it's no longer 9 months, but you can make it longer, a year?
I don't know if they'd make it longer. I think if anything, they'd try and make it shorter.
I don't know. Some people, they don't want to move on and just
some people, some people love the attention, and those are the same people who fake cancer and whatnot, who will wear a pregnant. There's a lot of streamers who already do that, who say they're pregnant and then lose the child when they were never pregnant in the first place, and do it for the attention, going, I just want a kid and my body keeps rejecting them, blah, 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 blah. And it's disgusting. And we're already almost a half an hour in, and it's only, we had to restart a little bit, but we're only a minute and a half in. Oh, God.
I want to throw up for real. And each time I try to pause, it's always on a wrong moment.
Oh, no, I know. And you don't want to pause it and have that vision stuck on your screen. Like,
as a 14-year-old. I started doing most of these things at 12.
Full-face makeup is required for you to get ready for elementary school.
Sephora haul.
And better money spent on $1,000 Sephora hauls than future education.
With the parents' credit card. I don't know about y'all, but I work hard for my stuff. It took me a week to earn this baccarat.
Is it just me, or did this?
A kid saying that.
I might need to get some alcohol in me. No, this seriously hurts. Like,
a kid saying that.
This seriously hurts. My
you know
heart
what?
My head.
You know what? I think they will legalize kids working on the workforce.
No, because that's why they want illegals to do the job no one else wants to do. No, and that's not even a joke at this point. Like, you hear the defense of who else will work those meaningless jobs and who else work for underpaid jobs.
We fought for the kids to go at school instead of working and adding to the labor force, but now we will bring them back there.
And if we're going to make them work, we should be putting them in coal mines and whatnot, just because something that will just... Because this girl alone, I've already got feels like she's covering a proper story, but you can just tell by the way she holds this little tiny mic rather than getting an actual mic and either pinning it or having it on a stand by her. She has to hold it delicately, like these little lapel mics. And it's just, she's part of the issue.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I hurt.
that's weird. We have a weird future coming to us.
It's not even a
The
weird
speed
future.
of girlhood to womanhood accelerate 60,000 times. Does it seem like all of a sudden girls go from toddlers to full-grown women? And is this new wave of culture pushing young girls to mature before they are ready? There is so much to unpack here, including 10-year-olds ruining Sephora all over the country. Why is this happening? Whose fault is it? And
Parents, that's their fault.
Well, and to go back on the other situation, the other comment was they also do, like, they see some of these OnlyFans girls not doing OnlyFans, but they hear them talking about how they make money by being online. Like, they see all these influencers and OnlyFans chicks so that's what they grow up to want to be. So why not start young? And parents are going, oh, these people, like, they hear these stories of these influencers who pay for their parents' new homes and new vehicles and stuff, so they try and push them. And it's abuse and just.
If you think like that, you shouldn't be parents. Well, as a person, if someone wants to use their kids like that, they shouldn't have kids in the first place. But hey, we are narcissists and crazies, so I guess that's the norm now. We are lost. We are doomed.
I'm asking my wife to pick up some alcohol. Not strong. I'm not an alcohol drinker, but just one of the coffee liqueurs just to add to my coffee, because I'm going to need to just.
I feel you, man.
Drink tonight, and I don't drink. I very rarely. It's just.
If you were drinking, you wouldn't be asking her. You would have your drinks ready. It's the same here. I don't have alcohol right now at my place, and I regret not having alcohol right now. It's disgusting. I guess I can play now.
Yes.
And how this only scratches the surface of the pattern of girls growing up so fast nowadays, not only in entering Sephora as a badge of idealized maturity, but also in wanting to appear mature by sexually liberating themselves.
Is this what girls are wearing now in high school? Oh my god.
Go change.
Bro, why the fuck you always picking on me? Like, it's always me. You never pick on any of these other bitches except for me, bro.
Is this the death of girlhood? 10-year-olds at Sephora.
I just saw a girl on my For You page talking about how Sephora has become the new Claire's. There's a bunch of 10-year-olds running around fiending for Drunk Elephant and like looking for rare beauty as if Selena Gomez is in the building. These 10-year-olds are crazy. Like literally the most feral. I was a camp counselor. The Sephora kids are different than any type of kids.
As she's walking back to her friends, I realized that I'm being recorded. So if you guys see a video of me on TikTok basically getting bullied by a group of girls, yeah, that's me.
And you're too young to be doing that on TikTok in the first place.
But they see this like she's proud of the bullying because it gets her attention. Like,
it's tragic. And again, I will say again what you said earlier. We should have a minimum age for social media, and we should ban again TikTok, I swear. And you know what's funny? I heard when you're like in China or some other place in Asia or something, what's trending on TikTok is like science, mathematics, astronauts, smart things, And what's trending here? Teenagers wearing goddamn makeup.
Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, and you want less government control, you want less sort of, but I'm really starting to think like certain makeups should be for certain ages. Like lip gloss, you can get the youngest.
I think no makeup at all should be
lip
needed.
gloss also works for keeping lips from like chapstick, sort of lip gloss. Like chapstick and lip gloss, I sort of see similar. But that at certain age, like blush, like all these expensive makeups should be illegal. And if parents are caught buying this for kids, they should be arrested.
I'm with you on that. My sister, she is alpha. So she's Gen Alpha. I won't give away the exact age, but she is kind of young. Like Alpha is between 15 and 5 years old, or like they're still Alpha being born now. So that's the age range. Anyone after 2010, basically, and
Um,
she doesn't wear any makeup.
oh,
And huh?
that's a good thing. But you're also, I was going to say, I would hate to have a sister that young because I would be worried shitless
Yeah,
about.
but that's why we are covering that. Like, my sister doesn't wear that. She's a normal kid, and we cover freaks.
But there's also a slight negative to the no makeup sort of thing on kids. Like, so that's also being pushed by. You're in Quebec, so there's been a heavy presence of a certain group of people who don't like doing that, who take modesty too far and make you cover your face. So hopefully she's not going that way.
No, but yeah, bring back kids like that. You don't need makeup. You're a kid. Just play with your Barbies. I don't know.
Like, unless you're doing like a wedding or something and there's a little, like a very small hint of something, or you're doing a school play so you have something so you don't look like a ghost, like just because I remember
Yeah.
I once had to wear a little bit of makeup because I used to perform and dance. Not that way, Israeli folk dancing. And I performed a couple times, so they had me wear makeup, which I always hated with a burning passion.
And you were an adult, were you?
No, I was a kid.
Oh, you were a kid. What?
I used
That's
to.
weird.
With my choice to dance, I liked Israeli dancing
But why did it make you wear?
because with spotlights on you and whatnot, you look like a ghost if you don't.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was the only reason why. Is like, we're not putting makeup, we're putting powder on you just so you don't fucking glow like a ghost. Because if you've seen people like, you've seen like old school videos where the people are almost white glowing. They just didn't want that because some of these were big real performances, not just performing for your parents. So I understand that, and like but the amount like this girl is and how proud she is that she's being bullied online, and she's like, if you see girl being bullied, blah blah blah, that's me.
She will have mental illness later on. I don't wish it, but this is what she's heading toward too. Like,
This is disgusting.
this generation is doomed. Parent messed up somewhere.
What was your life like at 10? Did you do a sport, read a paper book? Yes, those still exist. Or had fun daydreaming at a playground? This sounds really dumb, but at age 10, I was still super entertained by the idea of going into Toys R Us or just
There we go.
playing
I
by
said it.
myself at a playground.
Go play at Toys R Us. Go find your Barbies there. That's exactly what I was promoting earlier in the video. Toys R Us over Sephora. Let's make it trending. Any thoughts?
It's just disgusting, and it's just she doesn't look that old. Like, she looks like she's in her early 20s.
Yeah.
And just she's talking like the long ago. It's just like,
She wasn't born, it was like that.
no, it was already turning at that point. Because I remember when I was in high school, it was like, even in the 80s, like late 80s, you saw actual teenagers, like between 16, 17, and 18, like the last 4 years of high school, who dressed and acted, tried to be more mature. And I remember one girl said it because she had so much hair product. The girl was playing with the lighter in class, and her friend's hair exploded in fire. We were watching a movie, and all of a sudden we hear everyone smells this burning, and it's just this girl's hair's on fire in the middle of class. And we're like, Jesus fucking Christ. And that was ridiculous back then, and that was just.
So I say that Toys R Us over Sephora. Let's make it trending.
But remember, Americans don't have Toys R Us anymore.
Oh, but what's replaced it?
Nothing, really. They just
really? So that's why they got Sephora. They don't have Toys R Us anymore.
They've got. I don't like. Every city has like some toy store that's not, but like, and comic shops and whatnot and stuff. But no, like, I think they had some sort of Toys R Us come back, but not really the same. So like, it's all just Walmart and Target and stuff like that. Is their only toy stores? They don't have toy stores. They have
Target isn't like clothing.
Target is. Target is like Walmart.
Oh, I
It's
see.
it's like Walmart. It was like Zellers. It was like all that. They've got a toy section.
Zellers still exists somewhere? Damn.
No, I'm just saying, but something as another Canadian. Kmart, Zellers, Walmart.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
they have. They don't have toy stores.
That's tragic. So this is the era of electronic and digital bullshit.
I don't know. I think the magic of being a child is that everything and anything could be interesting and fascinating. And
Fact.
indeed, fascinating it is for this generation of 10-year-olds. The Gen Alphas play in Sephora, and they play seriously. As some may call this an epidemic, regular Sephora shoppers are horrified to find testers destroyed by the kids who believe it is totally okay to do whatever they want with these free products. And not only that, rudeness is an understatement for the ways the Gen Alphas are behaving.
What do you think?
It's so
I will add this as someone that studied in that field quite some time. Kids emulate their parents.
Yes, very much, and that's why this is the parent. Why I put a big emphasis on the parents for all of this.
They emulate their parents. So if they are rude, if they are savage, it's because their parents were like that.
But here's the problem also. These people aren't upset that 10-year-olds are wearing makeup and whatnot. They'd be fine if they could act respectfully in the store. I don't think kids should be allowed in Sephora in general.
I agree. That
Like,
should be 18 and above.
I know, and
just
that's sounding
like-
more authoritarian, which I hate. But it's just, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, if parents aren't going to do the job, and it shouldn't be a law, it should be the stores that are going, no. And not just because they act like kids.
Summer, they need to make money.
I know, and this is ridiculous. But their big complaints is how they're responding to the samples and how they're acting. Not, why is this 4-year-old buying Sephora products? It's, why is this mother allowing this 4-year-old to play with the samples and ruining so I can't use them? Like, that's all it is. It's disgusting.
So yeah, kids emulate their parents, and this is what we are getting. Blame the parents, not the kids.
preppy in here.
Is it just as preppy as you imagined?
Yes.
As it seems, not only is going to Sephora a trend for the Gen Alpha girlies, but being mean to other women and bullying store associates has become a new
That's not even a
trending
girl, that's a
pastime.
dude.
Trying to make everything in my hands fall out. And I literally looked at her like this. And she looks at me and she says, "Is there a problem?" I was like, no, I'm sorry. That was my fault. I'm so sorry. After I says that, the girl goes, "Pussy." I'm like, what the actual
I'm spending my money and giving you a paycheck. That's all that should matter.
Okay, that's not okay. That's not. We'll bring it up.
To make matters worse, the reactions to these behaviors are just as harmful. There are people chasing clout by going into Sephora to film these kids. We're just straight up hating online.
The hating is a good thing.
Hating is a good thing. I do agree.
As I've said, bullying needs to be brought back. Bullying and punishment of kids needs to be normalized again. There's a reason why kids can't do fuck all on their own, because they're not smart enough to know better. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, and she's just doing a video on this. She's no better. Like, she's making money. She's the same as the ones going in. Like, people hating. It's like, yes, you should hate on the kids. Well, more so the parents. Kids, after a certain point, there's just no saving them, and you smack them. But
I think that's the perfect comment there. By accident, we paused at the right moment. Nicole, I want to see her epic meltdown. I live for this.
This is the same bullshit as lolcows, like hate watching things. It's like, no, you stop giving them like your hate watching is giving them attention that they're craving. They'll react and be upset by it, but they still don't care that much because they're still getting paid for it because they're getting the monetization. Just stop giving them the attention and they'll fade fucking away. Once they see they're not getting attention, it's like the toddler who's having a tantrum. You ignore them and realize they're not getting the attention that they want, they'll stop. This needs to be done for the parents and the kids. And YouTube, one TikTok should just be gone. It should just be nuked. Not just banned. It should be nuked. But YouTube, who monetize these people, and Instagram, who pay these people to be this way. Like, I've said the same thing about the Like, you've heard of Foodie Beauty?
No, what's that?
Oh, she was a fat person who's actually from Montreal, so she wasn't far. Now she's just, I'll send you information on her later.
Yeah.
But there's these people who eat themselves, who do these mukbangs, who eat themselves into early death. And that one girl who starves herself, who's all skin and bones, who's been on articles so many times. And YouTube is paying them to kill themselves. And I think YouTube should be responsible for some of this.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one day that there's a huge lawsuit which will go nowhere because the parents were responsible for their kids, but YouTube also played a game and they should be charged by grandparents who allowed this. This is just, I'm trying to be calm so I don't say anything that gets your channel in trouble.
Yeah, thank you very much. But I gotta say, this comment section is golden. We could make entire videos just covering goddamn comments like that. Did mom say no while she proceeded to unzip her wallet?
Until I get booze. I have to use some legal Canadian CBD.
And the comment of the day, they are actually real. I'm dying. I read that. I'm dying. Mom say no on camera, but once up, they walk in and hand over the card. That comment section is just priceless. It's priceless. I don't have the word.
It's torture watching this. This is you. Oh, I should be charging you a fee for doing this video because this actually hurts.
Okay. Let's see what else she has to say on the matter.
Both sides exemplify a lot of problematic behaviors, so let us unpack them one by one. Why is this trend happening? Are the 10-year-olds really to blame? And what happened to the preteen era?
Get ready for me to do my makeup.
Or more importantly, would future generations of children only mature faster?
Not really.
They're not maturing. That's the problem.
Let girls be girls. Does anyone still know the definition of?
Just that video where they use kids in YouTubes and stuff and do these little challenges and stuff was also part of the problem because that was kids getting attention, wanting to be more attention. So they look at other people who are getting the attention and they're trying to emulate them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hate those family channels that have their whole family lives. Like, and how many of those family channels on YouTube that have their whole family lives have turned out to be abusers and had the kids taken away? It's not all of
I
it.
love it. I shouldn't be laughing, but I gotta say, if I ever have kids, I will vanish from YouTube. I will still be doing content here and there, but like, I won't turn my channel into family channel.
If I have kids, you can't. There's too much. Society is too much relying on internet and stuff, even just to watch stuff like kids shows, like on kids. But when I do allow them online, it's not going to be young age, it's going to be heavily monitored. And I don't want to be one of those helicopter parents, but this hurts.
I don't understand parents that are exploiting their kids like that. It's parent exploitation. I nailed it. So I guess that's the timestamp there. Let's just play the rest.
Of a girl in this day and age? I certainly don't anymore. A toddler is a girl, and so are corporate girlies in their 20s and 30s, thirst-trapping 12-year-old TikTokers, 16-year-old Britney Spears in her debut album in schoolgirl uniform, and 10-year-olds at Sephora putting anti-aging acids on their faces.
Put that down.
Why is 10-year-old girlhood suddenly defined by going to Sephora? It comes down to two parts. First, internet parents. It is a parenting problem. Not saying that it is only a parenting problem, but it is a parenting problem. It is a
I
parenting
agree.
problem for shoving an iPad to your kids' faces ever since they are a few months old, that they grew up chronically online. And whatever is online is what they begin to model their behaviors and identity after. From the perspective of developmental psychology, roughly 80% of parenting is modeling, meaning all the rudeness in stores, bullying, destroying products, hypersexualizing oneself online have been emulated from somewhere. Are these children copying their parents? Maybe. But since a wave of millennial parents did not want to do the work of parenting and let the iPads do the job instead, that is where the problem began. Although platforms
That's true,
That's
and
not
not
just passing the buck, because here's the thing. I started like 80s, 90s was the start of letting your kid TV raise your kids. Like just sitting in front of a TV for the most part. It was very against it, but it's become more common now and more okay. It was still parents who made sure you watch appropriate things.
yeah.
And like even when I was like 18, 19, I had a friend who had a kid. He was older, so it wasn't like he was my age with a kid, but he would listen to all these rap shit crap with the kid in the car when he was young, and the kid is now 19 himself or something, 18, 19, and he has such this douchebag attitude, and he's like my godson, and I've called him a douchebag to his face. And it's just like you let kids watch WAP and you let them listen to any type of music and watch these videos, which are all so, like, I'm sorry, there's certain cultures which should not be respected or continued. And whatever culture is that allows those type of music videos for kids to watch.
That should be ending soon, that kind of
Yeah.
shenanigans.
And the parents who do it with their kids, who do these sexual dances that they copy from music videos and other online people, is disgusting.
I'm with you on that. Make more laws. I don't like saying that, but
No,
we need
and
to.
I
People are
hate
stupid.
that. I hate that with a burning passion, because I'm very much pro less government and less regulations, because regulations are abused.
But people are stupid.
But it's just, what else is there to do? Like, and yes, it's people's kids, blah, 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 blah. But we have to deal with them when they reach a certain age and online. And it's just, unless we're allowed to start hitting people for being stupid. Like, I'm not like this is sound like a joke, like hitting kids, but what the fuck do we do? Like this, there has to be somewhere. Like, who is the one who puts their foot down and says no more of this bullshit?
So yeah, I guess we can play, and in the meantime, gamer James, you can always let us know what's your question.
Platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube put age restrictions and advise parents to monitor their children's online activities. They have zero monetary incentives to A, decrease profit-driving content, the branded get ready with me, skincare, makeup, everything and anything consumer product-related videos, B, decrease in-platform ads that also drive desires for certain products, C, decrease the active user counts. The more people becoming chronically online and on their platforms, regardless of actual age, the better.
Let's go to the park tomorrow and get.
That's why I'm of the idea we should force people to log into an account, and they should, I don't know, they should
No,
have a
because you don't
way.
want government to control knowing who you are. Like, part of the joy of the internet is anonymity and being able to vent a bit, saying what you really want. But certain things like YouTube and certain things where you have more reach, not just a Twitter where you're swearing or saying certain things, but YouTube and things where you get paid. Once you get paid for something, you should have to reveal, to say.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily to the public, but and like YouTube used to have a thing where you have to have parental consent. Like, that was the whole thing with Justin Bieber was, should he be as famous as he was? Because technically he had his first YouTube channel was before he was of age, and he lied about it. And I don't know, I think there still is, but if it should be where to create one, a parent has to do it. Someone of 18, you have to validate your identity on YouTube. And as much as I hate that, because people abuse the system about claims and whatnot, but there has to be something. Because it's like so if a parent has to register their kids and it's under the parent's name, if kids are doing this and being damaging to themselves and other people, the parent should be held responsible. And I hate, trying to think of a way that this can be done without government control or without too much regulation. It hurts my head trying to figure this out just because there's no fucking easy answer. There's no proper answer for this.
Sometimes it's okay to have rules, and I think it's important to have rules. And as much as I'm with you, freedom is important, but I feel like we've given too much freedom. That's what's going on. And it goes crazy, and it doesn't work.
Some fresh air, okay?
There is nothing wrong with copying behaviors from others. As humans, that is literally how we learn and develop. And this is so natural and essential in so many ways, such as how we learn a language or adapt to a new culture. And fundamentally, I don't think there is anything wrong with young girls looking up to online role models and getting all excited about womanhood. That is literally how I fell in love with fashion, by admiring my mom's wardrobes and reading Teen Vogue. Different mediums.
But I said she's part of the problem, and she said there's no problem looking up and whatnot. But you see how she presents herself, like with the hand, and she even zooms in on her hand and how she presents, like it's all a fucking show.
I'm with you. It's all a show, and I think we should address that comment there. I'm curious about going in further detail about that comment. I timestamped this. And let's read out the comments from the chat. Why people can't seem to get that giving critique to or being hard on something, whether a system or a country or a party or church or whatever, does not necessarily mean that you hate it, but quite possibly means that you love it and desperately want it to be better than it is because you believe it can be.
I'm guessing might be in reference also to my comment about certain cultures, and I've pointed out about it's a cultural thing in certain people's groups.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not as much society as you can't shame anyone nowadays. You can't call out things whether you hate it or just think it can be better. You say anything about the culture which I'm referring to, I'm doing my best just not to sound racist.
Yeah.
Because you say anything about someone who's not you, especially as a white person,
you're racist.
You're racist. You can't judge a certain group for having a culture that promotes negative things in people. Like, I'm sorry, but rap culture, which is very specifically a certain people's culture, it's always been a certain way, but it was a little bit more tame in the days. But now, hip-hop, rap, and you see, like, as I said, WAP and all these songs, they're all about sex and drugs and alcoholic, and it's not like the rock and roll sort of style where it's just all, yeah, it's fun, blah, 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 biker sort of music. But it promotes unhealthy lifestyles, and if you call it out, you're a racist because they can't defend it any other way. Like, there's no real way to do it without being seen as being called out for hating it. You just have to learn that certain terms like racism and Nazi and all that have no real meaning these days, because if you just say something that they can't argue with, their only defense is you're racist, you're a Nazi. And your best way to deal with it is just grow a thick skin and just stand your ground. You have to be careful with how you word things, because you can't just go out flat, throwing out N-words with either the hard R or the soft R. you can't. There's certain things like you can avoid to not be taken as badly, but no matter what, you might as well, like as you see, especially in politics, they try and find everything because of racism.
Yeah, that's because of the left.
Apparently, because black students do worse in it. They're not looking at the society that they're raised up and the family life. They're saying because certain people do worse in certain things, it's racist. You have to learn to ignore those terms and just have your values. Don't question your morals unless there's reason to bring it up. Like if you keep going around and you certainly hate on everyone who's different from yourself,
that's a you problem.
And not in jest. It's one thing, but to because there's people with dark, like I'll admit I have dark humor, and people who know me know everything. Most of the things I say are in jest. This stream is not in jest. This stream is in pain and suffering, and that's not a joke, unfortunately. Like this, I'm on disability for mental issues, and this does not help them at all. And I'm serious about that. Like this is seriously torture for me.
I gave the choice. Either we talk about the female firefighter making drama, or we talk about that, and you chose that.
No, I said you get the best reaction out of me from this.
Oh, you're right.
And you're like, oh well, we got to go with that. But
yeah, you're right.
My point is, you have to have a hard skin, and like, if you have your morals, and they're your morals, and you believe in them, stand by them. Don't let people name call you into going against them. If you feel a certain way and you have proper reason and you have facts and you have data to prove it, and not just because people say so, stand by them and just ignore the. But if you're going to be public about it, like doing a stream, you have to be a little bit more careful because there is freedom of. Well, in Canada, we don't have freedom of expression, which is bullshit. We don't have that these days. You can be canceled easily. So you got to be careful with how honest you are, but don't let anyone else question or make you change your morals because they're seen as wrong.
Yeah, I'm with
you. That's my best advice, in all honesty, as someone who says a lot of immoral stuff, mostly in humor. There's some things I believe which get me into fights, but I'm an adult. I can handle that. But you just have to sort of have a thicker skin and just be able to go, I'm not going to take it. And I'm not going to be bullied into not believing it.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And I think maybe the dragon will show up. So maybe ask him if he wants to join in while I just play the video and make the timestamp.
But same idea. The issue arises when there's an overwhelming amount of behaviors that could be copied online, and there is absolutely no filter or protection for these young minds. Where for some, it could be getting into reading, but for others, it could be trying to look sexy when you are 12, or owning the whole collection of Drunk Elephant, the beginning of a spiral down to.
And just the name, Drunk Elephant. Just that name.
Oh. Move forward, like that.
Idealize and romanticize womanhood.
This morning, I realized I only had 42 items from Drunk Elephant, and I immediately started to panic. I picked up the phone to call my mom and tell her what a horrible mother she was. She should have bought me more skincare products for Christmas. When I was done crying, I woke up my peasant of a father and forced him to drive me to Sephora. I needed new beauty products immediately.
Second, from the beauty giant.
Peas and fodder. So, okay, I gotta say something. I think part of the issue as well is father are pushed out of their houses.
Oh, well, men have no say anymore.
Yeah, they can't. It's not
I was gonna say we brought this up last time that fathers have no say in how things are done. Like they don't have a say if what happens after a woman gets pregnant because it's the woman's body, and we're not here to debate that. So, but at the same time, if she doesn't want the baby, but he does, he has no say. If he doesn't want the baby and she does, he has to pay support, no matter, even though he has no say in it. He's still responsible. And parents are just pushed out. And if they don't, they're seen as abusive. They're seen as neglective. They're seen as horrible people for saying no.
And I think if we had less fatherless houses, or if the father that are there grow some balls, I think we would have less case like that. But that's what happens when you push out the father out of the picture, and this is what happens when the women are in charge. Sad to say, but like, it's not a maybe okay. It's not most normal men that will push their daughters to wear some bullshit makeup. Except if you're leftist crazy and there's some few missing brain cells, but like, I don't think most father want their daughter to grow up too fast. Maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. But like, I feel like
it used to be the man was the king of the house, and not just, but it was what father sort of had the final say. And I don't even mean in the abusive, controlling way. I more mean in the, like, the father knew best. The father sort of made sure that the kids were.
now the father are just kicked out of the house. As simple as that. And this is what happens.
No, and exactly, it's men are told, because of woman power and all that, men are belittled.
Yeah.
And like, the only way that they can have a say is if they're it's not even asexual. It's unless, like, it's just
non-binary.
Society's collapsing. It's like, I've never had a problem with women being independent and stuff. Like, we grew up with movies with like women lead.
Ridley in Alien.
Alien. Underworld.
Ripley, that's
like, and there's female, and like Princess Leia. She was a fucking princess who, sort of, the guys who came to rescue her, she sort of rescued them a little bit, and like, she fought with them. But they're like, oh no, there's no female leads in that, and they push these unrealistic things, and they push these, you have to be woman power or else you're oppressing me, misogyny and all that bullshit. It's like, no, there are certain physical and whatnot limitations, but no, you can't acknowledge those. It's all woman power.
Let's play this now.
Parents, let them start young. There are winners to this whole chaos. And no, they're not the regular Sephora shoppers.
You can at least say, excuse me. She's like, well, I tried to, but apparently you're deaf.
Not the store employees.
I have been so lost.
And not even the kids.
You have the mini glow recipe, like blueberry cleanser and stuff.
It's the cosmetic companies. And maybe even Sephora. Although a chaotic mess to clean up,
This teenager came in and destroyed our store.
the drunk elephants and other viral beauty product companies aren't taking that loss. Not only do some of the 10-year-olds actually talk their parents into buying $500 worth of products, the beauty giant
$500! Okay, now I got no more empathy towards some of the people that don't have money. When you have $500 to waste on beauty products, I'm sorry, but you deserve to be in the street.
Well, here's the thing. Makeup has usually, like, especially in more recent times, makeup has always been, and I can't really judge people who want to spend money on makeup because you see behind me. I'm not even going to go into how much some of these things cost.
But you're not in the street. I mean...
No, and I needed money recently. I sold stuff to cover things. Some makeup you can't, like, people will sell and buy used makeup sometimes, depending on the situation. Like, it's not common, or people buy them, don't use them, and then, but the amount they pay, and then it's kind of stuck.
And it's harder also to sell back that makeup, because I think you can bring disease or some shit like that.
I've got one friend who just got evicted. Like, she doesn't work. She's all that. She has trouble with money, and she just found this, apparently, Jeffree Star makeup palette, and she used to have this whole collection that was worth hundreds of dollars. Like, it was an expensive thing, and she's looking at redoing it, but she can't even pay her bills. She couldn't even afford to pay the hydro. She was getting cut off, but her thoughts were spending money on makeup. Like, she's one of those people who I've actually stopped being friends with her because of some of the stuff like this. It's more through a third party that I've gotten some of this updates on her. That is just, she's always posting makeup pictures and all that, and like, she's not taking care of her kids, she's not doing this, and it's just, it's disgusting.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's an addiction there. Addiction to spending money
More
on useless
attention, and you care more about how you look than how your life is. Like, all these people have these shows that they put on. They put on these characters, this happy, beautiful person, but then you take a step away from their studio and you see it's all empty and disgusting. The only one who's honest about their lives is, what's his name? There's that one streamer who is known for having the huge mess and garbage and mold around him. Asmongold, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a couple, and there's a couple streamers who do reveal stuff like their workstation and their game station, and it's just empty cans, rotting dishes of old food, like bugs crawling, and that's fine, and they're almost proud of it. Like, there's some other especially in the Roblox community, it's more common to have disgusting lifestyles.
And
but from the videos, you can't really tell for the most part. But you step into the real world, and they're not as glamorous as they come out to be, or as happy they come out to be. It's all a fucking show, and kids don't understand that.
And I gotta say, it's crazy money spent on, or I should say wasted on makeup. And I gotta add this as well. I think I paused at the right moment because I just realized I paused on this. Drunk Elephant says many of its products are designed for kids. Get them young, as they say. It's disgusting.
I'm sorry, if that company's designed for kids, they should be shut down.
Yeah.
And the parents who buy from that should be on a list.
Yeah.
And this mother who's sort of doing a TikTok, like, she's trying to do all pity me, but she's proud of it. If she was anyone who would be like most parents who did that they sort of sacrificed their life for their kids, and not in a, I work 3 jobs so my kid can go to school and get a higher education. That's not shame. That's dedication. Sacrificing your own enjoyment so your kid looks and feel like can do what she says, you should be embarrassed by. And she's not embarrassed because she's putting it publicly. And she should be embarrassed, and she should be judged.
Bring back shame. Bring back shame. Anything else to add before we play?
Bullet to my brain? Other than that, no.
Dark.
Clients are also building a cult of the next wave of cash cows, starting at 10. It is just crazy to me how the power of media and marketing could sell anti-aging products to 10-year-olds. From a skincare perspective, not only is it completely unnecessary and wasteful to apply these products to children's skin that is already so vibrant and healthy, but it will also potentially lead to weaker skin barriers, which will lead to the demand for more skin products to protect the sensitive skin in the future.
In 5 years, they're going to be spending hundreds of dollars begging mommy. And
it's like brainwashing the student to go at college and then being in debt and saying you need to pay it back.
I wouldn't even say this is brainwashing. This is just lack of parents and doing parental things like saying no to children. This is just because of the internet trying to be famous, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, very disgusting.
And daddy to take them to go get facials because they've destroyed their lipid barriers from acid.
AKA more cash flow. And the way Drunk Elephant responded in an Instagram post, can kids and tweens use Drunk Elephant? Quote, yes. Many of our products are designed for all skin, including kids and tweens. First, I would say stay away from our more potent products that include acids and retinols. Their skin does not need these ingredients quite.
Why? That's disgusting. Child abuse again. That baby probably doesn't even walk.
Oh, I was muted, so I was talking.
You can bet.
I don't even bet
Whoever is placing that shitty product on the baby is not a father. I see mother fingers.
I don't even want to look at that screen because it's just
Yet. Sounds
punch my
super
monitor.
responsible, right? But it's the next part that got.
It's disgusting.
This is abuse. That parent should be locked up. That parent should be locked up for child abuse.
Again, that's a goddamn mother. Where's motherhood in that? I mean, my mother is one of the greatest among all. She has that mother instinct, and I feel like it's missing from these whatever these YouTubers are. They just don't have that fiber. They're just not wired to be parents.
It is so disgusting. And I am
goddamn baby doesn't even walk. It is only goddamn video on TikTok or whatever the platform was. It's frustrating. That moment broke me, I swear. We had disgusting shit so far, but this is peak.
It's revolting, and I don't even know what to say. It's just
there's nothing to say.
I'm just
child abuse.
My blood is boiling. I'm on CBD right now, and I feel a lot calmer, but my blood is boiling looking at that. It's just not showing, but it is just
got me. Quote, here is a list of our products that are safe for kids and tweens to use.
No,
we've also
it's
created
not.
a simple routine that doesn't require many products. Not many products. In the evening, cleanse with Beste and follow up with a few drops of virgin marula oil with 1 pump of Lala Retro for balance and moisture. In the morning, apply a drop or 2 of virgin marula oil or Lala again, followed by Umber Sheer. Sunscreen daily is a must. Use Lippy on the lips day and night. That was already 7 products for one of their routines designed for kids. Personally,
and the worst of that, the kids they are usually they aren't that patient. They need to be occupied. They need to do something. Why would they waste time on 7 goddamn products? But no, they need to sell their shit. Ban that company, put them out of business. They abuse people. And the parents are stupid to buy into it. Do you want to add something?
no.
It's predatory practices from that company.
These are people who are pushing for sexualizing kids. It's not even just because it's not just skincare. It's
predatory practices. Simple like that. Disgusting.
I love Drunk Elephant's products, but I don't really know how to feel about them expanding their targeted consumer base to children.
Get ready with me. Get ready.
I'm ready.
Get unready with me. Get unready with me with a Sephora 10-year-old.
More like get right.
Girls obsessively buying skincare products suggests a greater preoccupation with appearance at a younger age and relates to the growing concern for teen girls' mental health. A report from the CDC in 2021 found that 1 in 5 teen girls felt persistently sad and hopeless, a 21% increase from 2011.
They are goddamn teens, and they are already in the adult life. Their hormones are all fucked up because they grow up like that, and it's normal. It's normal to have fucked up hormones when you're a teenager, but add that pressure they place on them with the goddamn cosmetics and bullshit like that. It's disgusting. Any thoughts, Mandalore?
nothing I can say.
Okay. But I gotta say, I think there's a correlation. You treat these kids like adults, therefore they have adult problem before they are adults.
It's not even it's not even the whole treating them like adults. It's not treating them like kids, not treating them like they don't know what they're doing. They're not responsible enough to understand. Like every action, even just buying certain things, there's psychological thoughts and reasons behind everything. And parents are just don't care about that. They care about the attention. They care about the fame. They care about the money. They care about the looks. Like, well, all the other parents are doing it, so why I have to allow my kid to do it? And this is really hurting me.
They grow up too fast.
Minutes left.
What?
And there's only 5 minutes left. Oh, fuck.
The worst is done, I guess.
Cycle will only continue as companies find more and more ways to target and market to even younger consumers. Drunk Elephant's Little Kid and Mama set as examples of products designed to appeal to children. Charlotte Tilbury reimagined the Disney princesses as makeup looks down to the moisturizer. The cosmetic industry will only keep expanding. In 2022, the global market was valued at $429.2 billion and projected to reach $864.2 billion by 2037, thanks to the wallets of the millennial parents and the future dollars in Gen Alpha's pockets. But this is only a scratch to the surface of repackaging the idealized womanhood sold as girlhood. Idolization of womanhood and sexual liberation. The preteen era does not exist anymore. Adult and teen content have emerged in one space and over time just became content. The hypersexualization of teen girls is not only normalized but also commercialized. To become a woman back in the Disney way is to join the pipeline of Miley Cyrus's adult persona to Lindsay Lohan's derailment. To now the TikTok versions of girls maturing by adopting the quote-unquote adult ways to dress and act. To look closer to
crazy people that do crazy shit. I see you look depressed, Mandalore, and I feel you, man.
You don't fuck with kids, and this is what they're doing. They're fucking with kids. Like, you leave the kids alone. And this, like, normally that line is referred to transgenderism and whatnot. Just, you don't fuck with the kids. Let them grow up, and then as they grow older, you don't fuck with them in any way. Let them grow up naturally. And this is anything but natural. This is... If this was a much longer video, I probably would have just bailed out by now. This is disgusting. And she's acting like she's like calling it out, but she's doing the same thing. Like, she's acting a certain way. Like, people watch her, kids watch her, and they see like her mannerisms and whatnot. And she's just...
It's troubling. It's disgusting. Stay out of the internet if you got kids, and
after
teach them
this,
to find other stuff.
We are not going anywhere, any topic that relates to kids for a while.
Okay. I try to have diversity in the topics, you know.
Or I will come to Quebec and I will beat you. And I'm serious about that. You don't fuck with kids. And I hate traveling. I will travel to beat you if you do anything more with kids like this.
But
not you, but if you make me watch stuff about kids.
Okay.
The ideal woman. The hypersexualization of teen girls in entertainment is nothing new. The schoolgirl trope in movies and music videos, such as Britney Spears' debut album, to Kill Bill's Crazy 88 Girl, to the movie Lolita, to animes full of schoolgirl characters, to K-pop girl groups with members under 18. There has been so much infatuation with the youth of women, which ties back to the obsession with anti-aging skincare. But the way that these tropes have begun to be normalized and projected back into reality is quite concerning.
No shit. The parents. Really, like, I'm wondering what is a parent's mind in all of that?
They don't. It's the lack of parenting, and this is just... Children are some of the children and the feebly old, but children are the most vulnerable people. Like that's why even in jail, among the worst of people who are in prison, pedophiles are still the lowest of the lows, and they usually have to go into solitary confinement for their own protection.
Yeah.
Because when people know that they're pedophiles, they get beaten and killed. And this is practically abusing kids. Like, why else would you sexualize kids unless you're into that? For the mothers, it's not necessarily sexualizing for their benefit. It's sexualizing them to get attention for their kids, for them. But the people who watch them, the people who support this, who make the products for the kids to do this, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say or I'm thinking because that would be a big donut.
Okay, well,
let's just get this over and
Especially
done
with the powerful TikTok algorithm as the modern parent for Gen Alpha girls. Even during the TV days when psychologists were growing in concern for TV's impact on children, as more than 50% of children saw television as their role models, instead of actual people in real life, such as...
That goes back to what we said, like
Yeah.
a parenting.
Yeah, but I said that, but parents still sort of more made sure their kids weren't watching things inappropriate. They would watch, or things that they wouldn't understand at all. Like, you watch, Murder, She Wrote. I remember my mom watching that, and I watched that with her. You didn't understand a lot of the content. You just watched it because it was something on TV. And you watched it with your parent. But they're watching stuff at an old enough age where they understand what's going on, and they're sort of not even told not to watch certain things or explained. Okay, this is on TV. You don't say that in public. Like it used to be, you didn't swear in front of kids. Now people don't really care about swearing in front of kids. They swear in front of kids, and when they swear back, they laugh, and they give them more attention.
Yeah,
let me put on my glasses.
It's when the TV is more important than dad. When you read that, you're like, okay, that's probably a single mom eating men again. I didn't want to go back to that goddamn topic because I feel like we always go back to this, but for L's sake, that's what's going on. Another fatherless house.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And the sad thing is, some of them actually have their fathers in their life and in the house, but because of woman power, you can't tell a girl she can't dress like a little whore.
Yeah.
The parents. The damage from TV cartoons, however, is insignificant compared to the damaging impacts of the unfiltered social media influences for young girls. 12-year-olds are trying to be 21 by dressing like adult women, using skincare like adult women, and trying to appear quote-unquote sexy like adult women. This is not news. With no lack of traditional Hollywood examples of girls desperately trying to prove themselves as women, young celebrities always appearing more sexual than peers of their age, such as Kylie Jenner in her teenage years or Billie's past Vogue cover, either expected by the industry or as a way to prove themselves as more mature.
I'm not a kid. Yes, you are.
And with shows like Gossip Girl or Euphoria, the monotony of teenagehood somehow seems childish compared to an aesthetic dream of pills, orgies, and parties. Children are shaping their underdeveloped appearances to match older women, as they may see it as a sign of sexual awakening, of owning their sexual liberty, but are more so playing.
When I was 12, I wasn't thinking about that shit. I was just playing video games and going at school to sleep on my desk because waking up at 6 in the morning was too early for me. That was what a teenager was for me. I don't know about you.
Mine was just about getting out of schoolwork and going, because I live right behind my school, was sneaking out or cutting class to go home and just fuck around or play a video game. Even the girls who were focused on their looks and makeup were not this obsessed.
And when I look back at the girls that were my age, back then, in a class of, for example, like maybe 20 girls.
Okay,
They were like,
take the video off the screen. I'm done with this video. I can't anymore.
okay.
I
But
really can't.
there were like 5 out of 20 girls that would think about makeup and that kind of bullshit. Now I feel like that number is probably twice or 3 times what it used to be.
Well, and as I said, it used to be all little girls would play with their mother's makeup. They'd sneak in. And you know why they would sneak into their mother's makeup? Because they weren't allowed because they were too young.
But now they just
And
let
yes,
them do.
parents would sometimes giggle when they caught their kids in the makeup and they dress up and they cake all the blush on and whatnot, and you'd laugh because it's ridiculous. But now they're promoting it. And it, like, other than sexualizing kids, there's no other reason for this to be happening.
And it's disgusting.
And people talk about what's really going on, underground cabals and stuff, about the ruling class. And I think there is some sort of secret organization that's trying to turn the world, convince the world that pedophilia is allowed. And it's just, there's an article about a certain school area in the States, a certain town or state wants to put condoms in the vending machines in elementary schools. Yeah, I might just like. Why would you be putting those unless you're planning on using them? It's like
That's disgusting.
And like, again, not to bring it up, it's just because it's sort of related. It's just like, remember when they said people who commit sexual acts against children will face harsher consequences?
Yeah.
And then the trans community came out going, that's going to affect us more. Just like, why'd you say that? You don't. They're putting the quiet parts out loud like it's normal, and it's. I seriously have a headache after that because this was just so revolting and so disgusting. And I stayed up all night with my wife throwing up, and I think I might be sick now, not because of her, but because of this video. Like, it seriously is bothering my stomach. Like, you don't fuck with kids.
I'm with you, man.
And this is all they're doing.
Well, hopefully one day that will change. I guess now it's the outro because
I don't. Yeah, you also seem drained from all that because that was just.
Yeah. What do you have going on your end of the internet?
Not much. I am just. I don't even know. When my wife comes home, I'm going to have some alcohol. And I don't drink because drink just usually make me tired. I think I just need to sleep because this has been revolting. This has been torture. Like, you don't fuck with kids. You don't harm kids. Like, you don't sexualize kids. This is just.
I think we needed to talk about that. Even if it's disgusting.
In all honesty, it should be a bigger discussion in general, being talked by the media, not protected by the media or covered for by the media. Like, when you hear about condoms in elementary schools, even in high schools.
Yeah.
Like, high schools is a little more understandable because it's been a known thing for years that teens try and have sex or like to have sex. You push against it, but as they always say, rather safe than sorry.
Yeah.
If they're going to be stupid, at least be somewhat smart about being stupid. Like, I don't like having condoms in high schools, but like, especially if it's like a grade 9 to 12 only school. That's one thing that's debatable. It shouldn't be something debatable, but it is. But putting them in elementary schools is just
too soon.
It needs to be called out. It needs not to just be discussed. It needs to be called out for what it is.
At that point, you don't even have the hormones. It's messed up.
It shouldn't even be thought. Like, I'm sorry, it's not even the hormones. There shouldn't even be thought about the logistics of it, because it just shouldn't happen. It's just no.
You know, What's next? Condom for kids.
Yeah, not you, but I'm out. This is just too much for me. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll see you next time. This is just.
We
I
are
need to
out.
go. Yeah.